Hello and welcome to another MCO market update on Bitcoin. We want to take a look at the Bitcoin chart updated support levels, if there are any updates, and we'll take a look at the structure in this video. However, only the microstructure. In the video earlier today, I did cover the daily chart for you. This here is really just the shorter time frame. And yeah, this is seen currently as a diagonal pattern to the upside. Clearly, we're dealing here only with three-wave corrective rallies, in my opinion here at least. There was a comment in the previous video about it being more probable that it's a series of 1-2 setups. That's not the case because you don't normally get in Bitcoin a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 setup. That's completely unrealistic. It hasn't happened a single time in this cycle that we had a pattern like that. In addition to that, the proportions don't work for that. Okay, so we have an initial rally, which was a wave one. You can, if you really want to, call that a 5-wave move up, but you can also call it a 3-wave move. Either way, this here has a certain length, and then this here, okay, even if you might call that a 1-2, 1-2 setup, okay, maybe, but then the problem is with this move, this is too long, so this does not count anymore as a wave one of one lesser degree. It's just too long. So it does count best as a diagonal pattern, especially if you consider that Bitcoin is moving a lot in diagonals. This makes absolute sense. The fact that this here looks impulsive, the move up from the 21st of March low, is simply because it probably is a C-wave impulse. All right. So you have a lot of overlapping price action. In most cases, in these cases, it's very often a diagonal pattern. Also, it very much aligns with the concept of a third wave that should reach the 138% extension. So if I really have an initial 1-2 setup, then I know that based on our guidelines, the third wave should get at least to the 138% extension. This is typically also how diagonals in crypto work. The third wave is an ABC structure, and the C wave seems to be unfolding. And the third wave, however, should get to the 138% extension here. Let's say minimally the 123.6 extension. We talk about 91,240 to 92,228. Those diagonal patterns that you often see in textbooks, these wedge patterns, they are extremely rare. And markets have changed, don't rely on theoretical textbook patterns alone. They still exist, but the markets have moved on, and so we have to stay up to date. That's what we do here every single day. We don't change rules here. Market sentiment is still the same overall, and markets still move based on sentiment, and human sentiment hasn't changed. However, what has changed is to a degree how markets operate, and especially in crypto, you see a lot of diagonals that visually look impulsive. So if someone doesn't count the subwaves or use the Fibonacci extensions as per guidelines, it does look at some point maybe more like a 1-2, 1-2 setup, or you get to different conclusions. The main takeaway here is, if it's a diagonal, you get lots of different interpretations. And that's great. Happy to discuss. I just wanted to say why I consider this wave count the most probable. Also, it's been working. So that's key. I mean, be pragmatic about it, right? Don't be don't be too much focused on theory. It's about being pragmatic about it, and support levels are still holding. And it told us that a reversal to the upside is likely, and that's what we're tracking, right? Of course, it will change because it is a micro count on Bitcoin, and it is a diagonal pattern. And the main takeaway is, whenever you get diagonal patterns, you get 5 different opinions from 5 different people, which is great. Happy to discuss. Just making my point here. The key is not to assume something is impulsive if it's actually not. Because if you believe something is impulsive, but it's actually not, then you trade it maybe too aggressively, and you're not so much careful. It's important to be on your toes whenever we are dealing with a diagonal structure. So at the moment, we are likely moving up in wave C of 3. That C wave should be a 5-wave move. We clearly only have 3 waves. Another 4-5 pattern is likely. That 4th wave, because this is considered an impulse from the B wave low on the 21st of March, That move up should be a 5-wave move, and we are only at the end of the 3rd wave. I did post earlier today on Discord. We have a members area where you get additional updates. I did post that it's possible the wave 4 has started. That is still possible, but we haven't really seen any downside momentum. So at the moment, I just keep that as support. Upside trend continuation support between 86,190 and 87,530, but it's unclear if the wave 4 is really started. Again, it's possible. If we go higher more directly, then at this point, I would just call that an extension of the 3rd, and the next upside level to watch is at $89,657. But that would still mean that we need another 4-5 pattern to really complete circle wave C. And another extension in the 3rd wave wouldn't be a problem. We just adjust support accordingly. And it would take us closer to the first ideal target for that larger degree, 3rd wave. Yeah, that's the update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. I also encourage you to join us on X. Here, the community is very active. You can ask questions below these posts. Typically after the Bitcoin video, I'm available here to answer questions. I'll do check in throughout the day, but yeah, after this video, I'll be there maybe another 1 or 2 hours to answer questions. Just post below the most recent Bitcoin post here, and then I'm happy to answer these questions about the video or whatever. And yeah, the link is pinned in the comment section. See you there. Bye-bye.